Hello, it's Jon Binnie, and I would love to share with you my predictions for 2024. And I say my predictions, they are things that I've been receiving through in my client sessions, in my daily meditations, my channeling from my guides, and also from the beautiful people around me and in the world, ranging from mentors to friends. And I'd love to share what resonates with me for 2024. So I feel like a really big thing, the biggest thing in my universe, is that more and more people are awakening, and they're awakening faster. In 2024, between 4 and 5 times more people than in 2023 will be awakening. And the awakening journey is just the start, right? It never really ends, but the awakening journey is different for everyone. People get triggered and activated into their awakenings in so many different ways. And until now, and in fact, I've had clients I've worked with who have been, born like in this kind of awakened and awakening state, and fully aware of all of their abilities, their psychic abilities, their abilities to manifest their dream reality around them whenever they wish, and others that have been through this, have been waking up around 10, 15 years ago, and then like myself, kind of going through big awakenings in 2017. There's quite a few people around 2012, around 2017, 2018. And so they definitely come in waves. And this wave is really big. It's a really exciting time. I know that when we go through our awakening journeys, it's not super obvious to us. And my experience of going through the awakening journey, looking back now at some of my Facebook memories, I could see that there was many signs, like the universe was warming me up. And it's like, John, there's like more magic to this universe than you could ever imagine. It's coming your way. And that was really exciting to see. For instance, I saw this post just earlier in 2017, and there's one in 2016. And it's where I'm talking about incredible things that happened that day. Like I'd seen like this, like a UFO in the sky. I'd seen a fox out my morning run. I'd seen, numbers like, 444, 555, 1111. I'd seen, other animals. I'd seen like feathers, just all these signs. And some of this was concentrated in like one day. And I was like, wow, and I did feel at the time, and I wrote this post saying that the universe is trying to tell me something, but I just didn't know what. And I love that. Like, I love that I continue to get many of these same signs and many, many more. And it's the meaning behind them that is the beautiful, magical, fun part to seek. And I feel like that's a big part of the awakening journey is stepping into, like, leaning into what we feel that meaning could be and exploring it bravely. And I am busy doing a lot of things to help those that are going through their awakening journeys, and especially those that are new to the experiences. I have a workshop on the 10th of December 2023, and I'm saying that like it's a fixed date because it'll be available live, and I will also turn it into like a replay and a little workshop. So you can visit my website at any time. If you're watching this video after the 10th of December, it'll be available for you to watch and take a look at. And that's really cool because it'll help you understand like manifestation, like how to manifest your dream life. And I'll start with giving some explanation of the awakening journey, the awakening process, and talk a bit more about that. Why is it important to you? Well, if you're watching this, I'm guessing that you're kind of just really curious about me, a bit mystified by me, or you it resonates with you and you're going through your awakening journey. And what I feel like is that when you resonate with material like this, you then begin to realize, well, actually, there's a lot for me to learn. There's a lot for me to do. And for those of us that are ahead of others in their journeys, now there's no, like, it's not a race. There's no specific time. No one's better than others. No one's more advanced than others. We just all have our own unique journeys to progress along. So by that, I mean that if you've already been through your big awakening and you're maybe weeks or months or even years into it, then we're being called on to, like, do things once or twice even, and then teach them. And so it's like, learn it once and then teach it. And it is completely up to you whether you teach others in ways that I do, you know, like more traditional ways, like courses and meditations and videos, podcasts, songs. But you can also teach people by being you, by just being you. And it's a huge thing, like being the whole you, be the authentic you, like turn up to your day job, turn up to your family, your friends, like be the whole you. That is teaching. It's teaching others that you can go through these big transformations and you can achieve it. Like you can come out the other side after facing your shadows and doing the hard inner work, even stronger and even happier. I know I feel incredibly, like, exponentially better than I did before I went through my journey, before I started going through my journey. And it's been a really rough roller coaster, even this year. You know, I had a really dark night of the soul through the summer, and now I've you know, healed and come right back even stronger. And so every time we go through these changes, it's important to remember this, to see that it happens to all of us, and that to see that as so many more people are awakening, that we can be there for them in all our different ways of holding space for them, not just love and light, but also acknowledging their darkness, their pain, their suffering, and holding space for them. Okay, so that's one thing. Many more people awakening 4 to 5 times faster than previous years. Walk-ins. So this is also a big thing. Now, I don't want to really get too hung up on the different labels, but there are, like, different kind of levels of going through, or different kind of entry points into awakening journeys. You know, some people go through, like, manifestation is like, oh, the secret, and I want to learn all about it. And when they learn about it, it changes their perception of reality. And then they start to go through this, if they're open to it, like a metamorphosis. They realize, like, oh, so my entire reality outside of me is, you know, affected by the reality inside of me. Others, like me, come from, like, the truther community, where, you know, you're looking at conspiracies and UFOs and all these things. And as you dive deep into those rabbit holes, you realize that reality is not what you expected. And again, it's another way of kind of triggering some of those explorations into other things, like I did into meditation. And there's others, and I know people have been through this, where their soul has agreed to allow like the highest version of them step into their life at a specific time in their life. Now, you could argue that, you know, that's what happened to me to some extent. I do know and have vivid memories of the Jon before my awakening in 2017, but it's a big shift, you know, and I'm sure my wife and family and everyone else would describe it as a big change in me. And some of these can be more extreme, where your higher self steps into this human form of you, and you become like you consciously change, and actually your memories prior to that moment aren't very good. They exist, but they're really sketchy. And I know that for people that have been through that, like clients that have been through that, it's a very kind of daunting and existential, challenge for them to to reconcile with, but to know that it's your same soul, that it's all the same things, just your personality shifts a bit. And so these walk-ins will also happen more, like these kind of stronger versions of awakenings. And we'll also importantly see it in positions of power. We'll see it in governments, in militaries, in big companies. And it's to begin with, it's not going to be huge numbers, but it's going to be people in positions of what we consider in this 3D reality of positions of power. And so even in some of the crisis, and I'm sure whatever time you're watching this video, there's just another one after another one, right? Whatever the crisis is going on, know that the people that are instrumental in it, some of them will begin to go through these big changes through awakenings and through walk-ins. And so there is always hope. There is always hope in any of these situations, no matter how dire they seem, literally up to the moment that someone's about to push a button, they can go through these changes, through these awakenings. So that's really exciting. And I also saw, and I think for the last point and this next point, Jenny at Starseed Academy, I saw her video, so shout out to her. She was doing some predictions, and some of these were similar to mine. She'd also talked a bit about the gradual change, like not going through an apocalyptic change of the planet, but much more of a gradual change. And I must admit, I was hearing that from my guides, and they were describing, I work for a huge corporate company, like a global company at the moment, part-time. And even that, like, I just wondered, like, how do you transition? But then I've started to meet people in the company that are really very awakened. They have a real hunger for change. And that's really exciting to see, and it's all the more reason, and I've not always been amazing at it, to bring the whole you to every aspect of your life, including your work. And, we're having lots of conversations together about sustainability and improving, the way that that ourselves and the company and the world can treat the planet. And that was really beautiful. It was a real change. And so I can see more, like, if you think about the people within these institutions and companies and organizations, if they change, if they awaken to this true nature of reality, then they will likely change their actions. They will more likely change their actions. So more likely begin this shift. And yeah, I'm excited. I now feel in my heart, it's a lot more hopeful that this will be a lot more of a transition, taking longer, but also possible, without going through so much trauma. With trauma, you need a lot of healing. And without the trauma, you don't need as much healing, which is great. I also saw that there's changes in the way that when we're showing up in reality for each other, that will change. So encouraging you watching this and me to connect with people more, to connect more online and to connect more face to face. I've been doing more client sessions face to face. I've started to pick up clients. I say pick up clients. They've come to me that live more locally. Until, and for years now, I've only had like maybe one or two in Scotland, and now more are coming through. And that's really beautiful. And so connecting with people, I'm also doing like weekly in-person meditation sessions with classes. I'm doing reflexology, which is like foot massage. So that's like absolutely connecting with people. And then also, attending events and connecting with people. And these connections, these communities that are, and I use the term community like, tribes and connections and kind of webs of people. These are really important to build and foster, because as everyone goes through their awakenings, there are people right now, if you've made it 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes into this video, there are people right now that would benefit from speaking to you. Like, you could help them right now. They are going through this this real shift, and they don't know what to do next, and they don't know that they're not alone, that there's many of us that have been and are continue to go through these changes. And so we're being called to connect with people in a way that feels right for us, and a way that helps us help others and help ourselves. For every time, I know that as I look back on my early awakening journey, that I'm healing those parts of my journey. I don't want to forget the old John, the pre-awakened John. It was really building up for a year or two in particular before I went through that event. And so being there for people all the way through their journeys, and just being there for everyone, no matter what your journey is hugely powerful. And so I feel like we're being called on that in 2024 to really connect more physically and across the various virtual mechanisms. And finally, these galactic connections that we have, I feel like it's going to become more and more transparent to us, like as this kind of 3D matrix continues to dissolve, and as the veil thins, as more and more galactic energies flow through from the central sun, through our sun, through Mother Gaia's core, being received by Mother Gaia, same with our hearts being received by us and our hearts, and our DNA upgrades that we're going through, we're going to become more and more connected with this idea that we're not alone, that there's many galactic races out there, and that many of us, probably most of us, are we're from the stars in our origins, that our souls have incarnated across many different planets and many different lifetimes and many different species and galactic races. And I saw in a client session recently I saw these beautiful unicorn beings here in Scotland, in this fifth dimensional version of Scotland. And they were singing up on the top, like each unicorn was at the top of like a mountain, and they were using their horns to resonate out this beautiful frequency. And the frequency was like birds use to wake up the environment around them, wake everyone up for the day. They were singing to like hold this high vibration dimension. They were singing to celebrate life, to communicate with each other. And it was just a really beautiful resonance. And so these what we might consider to be mythical creatures, as well as galactic beings. And there are so many, there are Arcturian, there's Lemurian, Atlantean, reptilian, there's avian, there's the Greys, there's just a long list. All of these beautiful races are not just coming through stronger for us, and they'll be appearing more and more in our skies and in our dreams and in our thoughts and our feelings, but it's more like we are family. It is understanding the whole of us, and also seeing more of the way that they integrate with each other. Many galactic races hybridize, like they're mixed race, and very naturally, and some less naturally. And for us, our souls coming into these human forms, and even some of us being hybrid beings, that this will become more and more prevalent, and it'll feel more and more natural that we are just all one massive universe of galactic beings, and there's no them and us. There's no alien and earthlings. We're all part of this big galactic universal soup of life. So yeah, I feel like that's so exciting, and it'll break down many barriers and help us really step into our true sovereignty and our own power and our own divinity. So I hope this finds you well. Please check out my podcast. I think I have over 30 of those now on both YouTube and on Spotify. Visit my website at jonbinnie.com. I have new meditations that are free. There's meditations that are new premium ones that are paid, like for learning light language and doing grid work. I have the 7 chakra training course, which has come way down in price as I want to really open up now to more and more people and make it more affordable through 2024. And I also have a broader range of services now to really meet you where you're at, from the free workshops that I'm doing and the free mindfulness meditations and the daily spirit guide meditations, through to these smaller, simple sessions that get you started, get you understanding how to work with me. And I'm very much here for the long term. I'm here to help support you on your awakening journey. And I don't just want to, offer you one session and then, dump you and leave you in this like awakened abyss. I'm here for the long term. And so I'm really seeking clients that are hungry and willing to really step into their true power, and whatever it is they decide to do, whether they want to be themselves and just be the whole of them and show up each day for their dreams, or if you want to like me, build your own business, and whatever you're doing, I'm here to support you. So please do check out my services and my trainings. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for 2024. I know it's a big change for me, and it's a big change for many. And I'm excited to connect with you more. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. It's a real honor and my pleasure to share with you. And I'm off now to decorate my living room at home. And I hope that this finds you well. I'm sending you so much love from Scotland. I love you.